Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Weekly WAYPN. I'm Cal.
And I'm Sunny.
And Sunny is desperately trying to get the current link so that she can put it up.
Yes. Oh no, it ruined my post.
What?
Did I done something?
I think you have done something wrong.
Let me... Ekus.
But instead, we'll be talking about somebody who hasn't done something wrong. And we will be... There we go.
I think because it was posting on my personal instead of the fan group. Which is what happened. Well, it's up now.
Alright, well, would you like to read out what James has to say?
Yes. Under the worst kitchen lighting conditions with a Temu brush... Did he buy a brush from Temu?
Yes, P3 paints.
Yeah, and P3 paints, I painted Clyde the skeleton. I used Fat Brave, I think he meant to say Dragon Games. Yeah. Skeletons to test how level my 3D printer bed is.
What? You are bad right now.
My 3D printer bed is, and how different brands of filament work. I have many skeletons in different colors. Clyde is one of those test subjects. He's a little stringy, but works fine for a Canon photo model. I didn't even realize it was 3D printed.
Yeah, no, the 3D printing hasn't really come through that much, but I think it might be because it's a very sort of rough model. And this is a classic case of exactly what we're talking about. Aim to your standard, right? Don't like try and push beyond where you should be. Try and look at where you want to be, right? It doesn't matter that it's a Temu brush or whatever, right? It just matters that you are, hitting your target.
Yeah.
And he's hit his target. Yeah. It's a green cape. It's got a wooden shield with a steel rim. Steel sword. It does what it's meant to do.
Yep.
And, that's the thing. We should always judge based off where people want to be. And James has hit his target. And that's what you want to do. Don't give yourself a hard time for, doing,
things didn't go the way you wanted them. Yeah.
Just if you're hitting your target.
That's more important.
Yeah.
Next we have Marcel Da. Made a new uniform color for my guard, like it more than the old one. It's still a whip. Yeah. Okay. The color scheme reminded me a lot of the Krieg army guys. That desaturated jean blue. Yeah. But that was the only thing I wanted to say.
The thing I want to know is, what is this machine in the background?
It's an ice cream machine.
It is not an ice cream machine. You absolute monster. And what is it that it is covered in? Is this sawdust? What's going on in here?
Ice.
Dun 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 dun. Alright, so next up we have...
Oh, who's this? I don't know this man.
Yes, neither do I. Alright. Alright. Hey all, what on earth are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm accessing the chat.
I see. She's causing problems in the background. Just letting you know.
You never used to care when we had guests on the show.
Yes, that's because I could interact with somebody who was important.
I guess I should go. Anyway, read your thingy, honey.
I'm trying to. Hey all, an update on two fronts. This is important. So we are looking for posts. So we were looking for my post during the stream, and apparently I had posted an update on my profiles instead. How foolish. And we're going to try and update our format a little here. So we think that Member Monday, Whip Wednesday, and the Friday review are all going great. However, Talk Tuesday isn't going so great. It didn't go this great this Tuesday either.
Yeah.
We put out our first YouTube video for two reasons. Because, hey, we want you guys to see it. But the second one is we usually want to talk about it. However, I think people either talk about it over there or they don't know what to say over here. So we're switching things up a little. We're still going to promote ourselves because it's about the hobby, and it's part of the reason we made this place. And a lot of people came here from the channel. Also, we're going to keep Talk Tuesday, but we're going to change it a little. It's going to be used to ask people to come on the show each week. So the format will be Member Monday, as standard, Talk Tuesday, an open invite to the podcast, Whip Wednesday, as standard, Throwback Thursday, show off older stuff, Friday review, Sunday fun day, showing the YouTube. Alright guys, keep those brushes wet and we'll see you later.
Oh, I was going to say, keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye.
But that's not what it says.
I was feeling like saying it.
Yes. Well, anyway, I don't think that the teal scratches come off as well as when it's the
beige.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we discussed about this, and we think it's probably because the value of turquoise versus the value of the teal is probably the same.
Yeah, too close, yeah.
And if you I wish I had it's fine.
No, say it.
No, I wish I had Photoshop on this computer. So that I could just turn it black and white and we would see exactly how close they are. But I think if it were maybe a brighter silver, or even a different color.
We've got Photoshop on this one. So,
but I'm not sure if it'll mess things up.
Well, I can just open it on the I can open it through Chrome, so that won't cause a problem. But the thing is, yeah, I think people, well, I think it doesn't pop as much. But we'll move on because we don't have anybody else here to comment on my stuff, so it's pretty...
Nothing much, I guess. Next we have brush stroke.
Yes,
and he's done an armor wash.
And he's very much joining the crowd.
Yes. Did I say something about this one? It's Jason Tate. He has said something.
Yes, he did.
I don't see it.
Why don't you scroll down?
I have been scrolling. It does not
okay, click comment.
Comment?
No. Click the... Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh. It must be comment on his one, not on that one.
I think that's a bit...
Yeah.
Like, you should show comment if it's on that particular area.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
But yes, we will move on because I think Brushstroke gives us another update later.
He does.
So we have Alan Emlet next, and he says, ugly face.
Yeah, but look, here's the thing. I just want to quickly talk on that, right? I want to quickly talk on how that is important. Because the thing is, when it comes to this sort of stuff, I'm just copying this one in the background because that way we can do the thing. Create new. Come on, machine.
It seems like your mouse is not the issue, but there's some sort of strange response to.
Maybe.
When I was doing it, I realized what you were saying.
Alright, so how do I filter, right?
I think it's... Yeah, you just go to filter.
Anyway, you can look up how to do it on your computer.
Go back to the thing again. Go back to the Photoshop. Okay, yes. Anyway, ugly face after setting up some colors with the airbrush. Yeah, so he's just blocking in.
Yeah, but see, one of the things that I wanted to talk about, one of the things that I wanted to talk about with this is how important it is to note that there is an ugly phase with painting. And I think that it's really important to note that because we know how high level Alan is, because I think if I click on this, it should do the right thing, because this is from his, it'll go on his WAYPN stuff, right? And I just want to bring up this image, right? Take a look at how good that looks, right? It looks absolutely fantastic. And the important thing is this, right? When you take a look at it that way, you realize, oh, there is actually an ugly phase, right? Like this is so neat and beautiful and everything, right? But people only focus on this. They don't focus on that.
Yeah, they forget that that's something that's a part of the process, that it started out that way, and that it didn't start out looking super smooth and super grand and great and everything. Unless your brushstroke, then everything comes out smooth.
Well, we will just do a quick export on this. We can just talk about
By this he means we have converted his little life pods post into black and white, and we take a look.
And yeah,
at
we'll
how it looks.
And we'll just because it was an important thing, and this is one of the things that Alan was talking about the other day. Different Alan, and he was talking about how important black and whites are. So we're just going to open it, and it should come up. So here, if we take a look at it over here, and then we take a look at it here, we see that its values
are not different. It
just
looks like one solid grey.
Yeah.
Like it looks exactly the same.
Like the turquoise underneath comes out all right, but the steel has almost no level of difference.
Yeah.
And that's the big thing.
I think even the value of the blue chosen for the portal hole also pretty much the same. It is the same with everything else. So I think that, like I said, that could be why you felt that it was not that poppin'.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, let us continue on the journey.
Yeah, I think we should, but it's important because I think it's important to acknowledge your own errors.
Yeah.
And like it's important because we are the people who are on the podcast, and usually we'd have somebody to talk about our stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time people won't acknowledge, you know, their own errors, which is frustrating. And we want to sort of lead the way on that. So show, we can stuff up too. So next up we've got
Calvinoni Abyssal Warhound.
And unfortunately, the Attack of the Blurry things have gone again. I do like the color variation with all of these guys here, and I do like the metallics. But speaking of values, I think for like some of them, the values are very similar.
I do think that this is a bit of the consistent issue that I have been seeing with Cal's work, is that it really does need a little bit more contrast.
Yeah.
And I can understand that maybe he's going for a muted look, something more natural and desaturated, but you can definitely choose some parts where you want the attention to go to have a brighter color or even more saturated color to bring some level of visual interest, because they all do look quite samey in terms of contrast.
Yeah.
But he seems to choose very nice colors to pair, but it needs a little something extra.
Yeah, I would agree. Next up, this one was very, very big for us. So, we actually enjoy this guy's content. Mr. Bones, Arthur Bones, aka my brother's name, but I'm not going to say his real name here. He has or I think other people have revealed it before on one of his streams.
Yeah.
But the big thing was when we did this, right? I just remember when we did it, we're like, well, what do we think would be really interesting? And the thing we came up with, I thought was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, like...
Oh, with the Uber Amos one. Yeah, I generally thought it was an interesting take, just because it's not talking about any known or popular character.
Yeah, it's not talking about Space Marine guy, the Space Mariniest who ever Space Marine.
And, you know, power comes in many different forms. And I thought to myself, like, as we are talking about it on the podcast or on this episode, it's like, if you had infinite knowledge. That is an extremely powerful skill to have.
Well, like, one of the things that we talked about in the thing was how with the just gonna put up the.
Yeah.
I talked about how with the. Oh, I think you talked about it as well.
I think that's meant to go to the last hook, honey.
No, it doesn't have enough space. But yeah, so do you want to talk about how like a lot of people like get all upset about how there's not how people act as if they don't know certain things, but they don't realize that lots of people in these stories don't actually know things.
Oh yeah, is it because that there is, the Inquisitors will come after you for knowing about certain things?
I think it's not just that. I think it's just also that people like don't realize that some people know things and some people don't
know things.
Yep. Well, anyway, let us move on. And if you chat in the stream,
chat, and this watching the stream currently, please feel free to come on to the podcast.
And yeah, well, like, because the thing is, we actually interact. Like, that's usually why we have a guest from the community, so that you guys have a voice here. So next up, we've got Lance Davenport.
Guess I should have taken a picture next to current minis for size comparison. Dramatic difference. No wonder we weren't painting eyes on these.
Yeah, I think this is one of those old 25mm models.
Yeah.
And back then, the scale was very different. So back then, do you remember how you put one of the Retrowave minis next to like a Warhammer mini, and you're like, whoa?
Is it because normally the Warhammer Marines or the Space Marines, they're
it wasn't
a bit more
even
chunky?
A Space Marine. It was just, I think it was the was one of the the
Zinch models.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess because they're generally sculpted to be more muscular, like have more mass.
Yeah, but I think it's
slender
also much bigger as well.
Yeah.
But speaking of with this, I think the colors came out really nicely. I do think the basing needs a little work on here. It's
perhaps
sort of
a bit of cleanup around.
Yeah, so either clean up or you add some extra and go all the way to the edge, right? And just something else. It doesn't matter what.
Just one other element, like maybe a rock or a rune or something.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. Just one other element. And like this guy would be perfect, because I tell you what, it's very clean down here on his I don't know what this poofy part is called.
I don't know what the poofy wrist parts are called.
Yeah, but
puffy sleeve.
But yeah, the white part and the puffy sleeves, like that's just absolutely perfect.
I wonder if you use this for like D&D or something.
I'm not sure what he uses this for, but I think that it looks very nice. So next up, we have brushstroke.
What do you say?
Well, you can read his.
Few more whip picks.
There we go.
Yes.
But
more smoothness.
It is so clean the way he does things. So like, obviously he's done a wash on this, right?
Yep.
But you see just how far he gets his lines in. And like you can see it along here, there's the tiniest evidence of, where the wash was, right?
Yeah.
But it's just so clean. Like I figured that brushstrokes uses washes like other people use pin washers. He just sort of touches them and they just
go
magically spread out.
Maybe he does.
Yeah.
But he has more updates later on. So
he does, but I just wanted to take a quick look at that.
Yeah.
Alright.
We got Lance again. Yes, I have kept my brushes wet and moving. Intend to take a couple of family and fishing breaks this year. Please, God. So trying to get ahead a bit. Shields once again hand-painted. Striving to do better there. Okay.
I think that his hand-painted shields are like the feature of these guys. Because I think he's very good at his freehand. Because I look at this, right? And I'm not...
I love this guy, the yellow one.
I look at this and I'm not particularly impressed, right? But then I take a look at... Come on, computer. Please work with me here. One more.
There
then
it is.
Then I take a look at this and I'm like, wow, I'm not sure if I could actually,
Yeah, and I think something that people might not consider is that sometimes when you're doing freehand stuff,
Yep.
if it looks messy, it looks more realistic.
Yeah.
Like artists often use that to their advantage to create a sense of realism, is to just look like it's almost there, but not quite.
Yeah.
And that's enough to sell the story because, again, we talk about how the brain fills in certain information for you.
Would you be able to read out chat while we
It's
while we
Mr.
look?
Morton Christensen. I remember you.
You?
I do. Anyway, first time able to join one of these, though mostly at a glancing view with good listen as I am at work. Oh dear.
Yes, scandalous.
Scandalous.
We won't tell anyone. Not that we know where you work. We certainly won't read out your address live. Anyway.
I should not laugh too loudly in case it seeps through the earphones. Anyway.
You are a tragic mess. Anyway, I wanted to talk a bit about more about this and see. That's one of the things that we were talking about the other day. So I think if you're very good at something, make that your feature. You know?
Yeah.
Rather than because like I said, with the way that he's done up, very nice colors, the way that he's chosen the color scheme for each of these guys. But the shields and the freehand, that's what is truly the thing that... You let out a toot at my face? It's the chair that let out a toot at my face.
I'm trying so hard. A hard time.
Well, Morton, this is what you can expect. Pure professionalism.
Hey, I trying.
But yeah, and if that's something you can do, here's the thing: he mostly does medieval guys. So why not just paint crests on all of your guys?
Yeah. Plus, it seems like he's having fun.
Yeah.
Doing these little crests, and also at that scale, it's quite realistic looking because of the material. Things aren't always very precisely drawn back then.
Well, I don't know. I think that you can very much
tell what it is, right?
Yeah.
And it just works.
It does. It's as Todd Howard says. It just works.
What game is that for again?
That's for Fallout.
Fallout, right?
You want to read the next one while we take a look?
Oh, look, it is my favorite post of the week. Carlos. Because I work, I haven't been able to grab the brushes and paint more. But today I was able to work on my wizard. This time I finished the cape, golden tunic, and smaller details. Next is the staff and crystal and the book. I'll post the finished mini next time and hopefully keep my brushes wet. Oh yeah.
So
keep it nice and shiny.
One of the things that I was looking at with this, right? So the other week, a lot of people were talking about how his book looked like stone.
Yes. And that was due to the Zenithal Prime that was still on it.
Yeah. But I'm almost certain he's going to have white glowing words on this. But one of the things that I was thinking, right, is I'm not sure if that's going to come up as much. You know how we were talking about values before?
Yeah.
What do you reckon about those bright green glows on that?
Well, it really depends what if he's gonna leave the pages blue.
Yeah.
And if it were me, what my next thought process is to grab just your regular white star or whatever white you're using, thin it down like crazy, do a wash over, and then keep building up the layers, right? So you still have the blues coming through like almost like a quote unquote edge highlight. It's not an edge highlight, but like edge coloring, if you will. And then you have the white words seeping into the runes. And you still have the blues coming on the side, which creates like a blue glow, but you make sure the pages of the book is white. I think that's okay. But if he's going to keep the pages of the book blue, then I think just a pure white in the runes would be the most contrasting, because a bright green might be a bit too close, because this is a very saturated blue, we have to remember.
I guess that's true.
When you convert saturated colors into black and white, they're actually very dark they become close to black in the value scale.
Since we talked about that, and oh no, I have closed it already. Never mind.
Yeah,
I think we should probably we should probably move on anyway.
That's the point I was trying to make. So it depends what you're gonna make the book pages color, and then you can match something accordingly. So we have Jason Tate, firm face with the focuses tonight. He's the leader, so another character at a character plus level job. Yeah, I really love the doggy.
Yeah, I think the dog looks really good, but when I look at this scar right here, I feel like it wants another highlight.
Yes, I think it does look. I understand it's a raised scarring.
Yeah,
but it is quite jarring. I guess it could use that same color mixed with the white and just put a little thin line right across to create a bit more blending.
But I think the face diffusion is absolutely spot on.
Absolutely beautiful.
And the other thing that I look at, is he's managed some directionality with the eyes. Like, personally, I think the directionality should be elsewhere, but I'm not going to give people a hard time about not getting, like, the directionality right with eyes, because eyes are always a freaking nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the dogs come up very nicely. I think he's done some stipple highlighting to give the appearance of fur.
Fur, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right, because I can see a little bit of patchy over here.
Yeah, look, I'll blow it up, and I'm almost certain that it's stipple highlighting.
You know, with the level of detail work that he's trying to go for, I wonder if it's even truly character plus anymore.
Yeah, no, it is, because like he's within the limits of his abilities. He's not trying to push himself, but he wants to just get it just right.
Yeah.
And like that's the difference we say between showcase and
character.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to the next one?
Yeah, I think we should. I really like it. I think also the call it the ball cap, but it's not the
scalp.
The shaved head. The way that he's done that has come up very fantastic as well.
Yeah.
But I like, if anything, I just think highlighting that scar. All right, so next up was Member Monday, and of course with Member Monday, we got a lot of people. Also, I don't know the Russian, so I have no idea.
We're not sure how we're going to
say that name. Yeah,
his name once he starts posting.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to put it on Google Translate. Or something. I'm not too sure if it'll work, but
but one of the big things is we just want to take a quick word for all of the people who are new, and that would be our Mr. Morten L. Christensen here.
Yes.
And what I just wanted to talk about quickly is WAYPN is about the now, because that's all there is, right?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to this, the reason why we focus so heavily on works in progress here is because, like, so often people will just see the finished product. And when they just see the finished product, they go, oh,
I could never do that.
Yeah,
and I think because there is some level of understanding in the back of your mind that's like, that must have taken ages to do. I don't think I could commit to or have the level of patience to do that. But if you see the process of how it's done, sometimes you'll be surprised that some very quick tips and tricks were used to achieve certain things. And then you're like, Oh my god, maybe I could actually achieve it.
Yeah, and I think one of the big things is that's why I was taking a look at Brushstroke's work there, because Brushstroke is a fellow YouTuber, and one of the things that he does is just these absolutely gorgeous models, right? So clean, the cleanest models you've ever seen in your life, right? You're like, oh, I could never do that, and he's like, here, I paint this twice in a thin coat, and then I move on to the next color, and then I paint this twice in a thin coat,
and then we move on to the next.
And you're just like, truly, is it this simple, eh?
Yeah.
And like, honestly, it is.
It's elementary, my
Yes,
dear.
I might have been leading up to this, because that's why I was taking a look at the thing before, right? And the thing is, it is so clean, right? It's so beautiful. And I just think, like, that's the thing that people miss. They come along and they see this and they're just like,
so perfect.
I could never do that. And every single video, you know what he does? Now, of course, there's a few mistakes here, so we're just going to clean those up. And like, we're just going to clean those up will happen like 5 to 7 times in every video, and you're just like, yeah, exactly. And that's one of the things that I just wanted to say, you know, focus on the whips, get a much better sense of how much effort goes into the painting. Yeah. But yes, and I also love that, you know, he put his one up after Alex and Justin had just finished their ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we should move on, because I don't think that there's anything we've really got to add to this.
I will only say that he's looking very sort of royal knight.
Well, I think when we compare it to like Alex's and Justin's one, who heavily focused on battle damage, I think he looks just so clean, and like
it's more the choice of colors, like the purple ribbons and that nice sort of emerald green, and with a nice striking, and also the clean aspects. But it's more like the combination of colors that give me that, you know, that regal knightly look. But anyhow, let us continue to... it's Mr. Morton.
Yes, it is.
He has a post.
And there is one thing I'm going to give you a hard time about straight off the bat, which is you need to get her into a photo booth, because I've actually brought her up as an image rather than the post.
Yeah.
So to expand upon it. And one of the things that I noticed, right, is like, this is not... Sorry, my dude, because like the thing is, I can see the level of effort that you put into this, right? And I would really love if you reposted this. You might want to tag him if you're going to type.
I'll try, because
so you
I've
type
tried
at and then Morton.
Oh, okay, it does
and
work.
that comes up, yep, and then say the thing, yep. Okay, so like the white is just so pristine with all of this, and I really love that. And I think he's gone for like more a blue shading.
Yep.
Yeah. Sunny's excitedly typing, even though you're like, yeah, I'm here right now.
Okay, great. That's great. Good.
But so he's added a lot of little blue highlights along the black and white values, if you notice that, right? But
I noticed it on the birds, but I can't quite see it on the wings, because of the shadows.
Yes, because of the shadows, but also another thing, what I was talking about there was take a look at the hair.
Yeah.
He's added blue to that, which is really good to contrast against all of the armor, which is, you know, a lot warmer.
And that's actually really good, what we call ambient occlusion lighting, which takes into account the reflections of light in your surroundings. So blue reflects in the shadows because she's probably in the sky, and the blue of the sky reflects on the hair and the wings, and so that's really good attention to detail. Just wanted to point that out.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
But the only thing I have to say on the base, like the base, like I'm not going to give the base a hard time, because we know that I obsess over bases, but it is just very 40k. But get this thing in a photo booth, my dude, and repost it, because like it is obvious the level of effort that you put into this lady.
Yep.
And this is the mini that I used to call you, wasn't it?
You used it to try and steal my heart. Oh,
well, you bought it for Valentine's, didn't you?
I buy it for you, and then you painted it. And he gave her these steel iridescent wings, so there's a pearlescent spray that you can spray over top, and it shifts in the light. And I was like, ooh, so magical.
Yeah. He said, fun question. How many skulls do you think you put on the base?
20,000.
Well, I know it's more than 2, but let's take a look here. I'm going to say 50.
Honey.
What?
After doing the Kill Team terrain.
Oh, shut up.
You should be a master of counting skulls.
She wants me to feel the pain. We're going to move on because she did that. All right, next up we've got another You Are Such an Adventure.
You have to read it.
Okay, I will read. Good day all. So, I've been working to this point of building and prepping a 1,000 point 40,000. I'm aiming to start painting this month, and I have it done by April. No reason, just need a deadline. The army is Tank Commander with Demolisher. Breed. Command Unit. A unit of 10. 2 units of 20. 2 180-point Lehman Russes. A lot of scratch-built turrets and custom tanks. Once I crack on with the painting, I might be able to build a different turret and replace the plasma. But that will be once I've painted it. And Morton, for you who are new, the reason why we do this is because Joe is very grand at showing his whole process. So we'll start out here and we will go through the whole process.
And
so
we can see how he's put it together.
Yeah,
he's converted it from his bit box or whatever bits he's got. And then he puts on... I think we're too far, right?
No. Apparently it was 152, so I was
close. I was very close.
Oh, you weren't.
20,000 is close.
Anyway. So, like, I love just seeing how he adds the little bits of detail as he goes. I love
when he adds the guardrail.
I don't think they're guardrails, but what do you call them?
the handrails, right? Yeah.
Handrails, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because like they're for people to grab onto.
Yep.
As you go along, but there is always so much stuff in his little adventures.
I think styrofoam there, did he? It looks like styrofoam.
It does look like styrofoam.
How did he get it? Like you need to get a specific.
I think it was already like this. That's why he's using this bit, because if it was cut, we'd see those telltale signs of the cut.
It seemed too specific for him to just have it that comes.
I wonder why he chose styrofoam. I bet it's because he wants a specific style of battle damage.
Maybe.
Or maybe he wants them to be lighter.
We'll have to get him to explain these things.
Yes.
And as you can see, Morton, we're already very drawn into it.
And that's why we call them the Joa Sutton Adventures.
It's like the carousel of confusion, where you go in and you just do not come out until it's finished, and then you go, oh, come on, man, it's over already, like that, you know. And you can see Cal has completely stopped talking. Because that's what happens.
That's what I have to do when you're talking.
That's not true.
Like when we had friends over yesterday, you and
I didn't talk that much. Our friend had much to say.
She always does. She always has much to say the
Well,
moment her husband talks.
Yeah, well, she's just trying to add on. It's true. Trying to add some interaction.
Morton says you should think about doing ASMR, the reading of art and posts.
Funny you mentioned that, Mr. Morton.
Why?
Because we wanted to do it.
No, I don't remember wanting to do
we did. But not on WAYPN. Like, we do it separate.
Are you talking about how we used to read comics?
Yeah, so there's this platform called Webtoon. It's very popular with the kids these days.
But anyway, I think I've gone vacant.
Yes.
So we will move on.
This happens every time.
Yes.
Now we go to James Salisbury.
Yes.
For Member Monday, Zombie Hulk and Alive Black Panther. Realized I have more to learn about Highlight. Hulk's chest worked out well, but when I did his arms, it did not turn out as good. So I redid the arm. Is the Black Panther base a possible Jungle Book?
So, first off, I would say the thing is, with his more zombified flesh, I think he should go for a different color, like a putrefied yellow-white.
Actually, I would disagree because
really,
just because like it has that desaturation that you can tell that it's a bit like a rotting flesh, and because he's already green.
Well, see, like he's green and purple, right? And what are we going to use to contrast with that, right? And the thing is, red is adjacent to the purple, right? And it's not going to have enough contrast in here, and the green is I wouldn't say very saturated, but fairly saturated, and that's why I'm saying like an off-white. So, like for example, not the bone. We've got I think it's called Recklin Flesh Shade. Do you know that one?
Recklin Flesh Shade.
Yeah, I think that would be a good color to contrast with this. Like a bone color with like a yellow over it would...
I disagree, just because, like you said, this is a saturated green, and a yellow would be quite close to a saturated green, and he'd look like a chewed out melon. No, he would look like a melon.
Everything is food to you. And...
Honey, he would look like a melon that's been chewed into. It's true.
It is not true, because watermelon is
the rock melon. There's yellow melons, you know, the yellow ones.
You're the worst. Anyway,
I actually, my point is I kind of like it as is, honestly speaking. But maybe Cal has a point, but I'm sorry, I disagree.
It's okay, and like that's why we like to have people on, because we like to have people who disagree with us, and it's okay for people to disagree. And what is the best thing is you get the most information out when people disagree. So I wouldn't quite call it a passable jungle base at the moment, because the thing is that all of the plants and all of this sort of blend together. So I would do a more saturated green for these little plants here, right? And the other thing is, just because there's an inbuilt base does not mean that you can't add basing stuff to it.
Yeah.
Like, for example, you know that mix we've got for the jungle bases?
You're talking about the PVA sand and craft paint
No,
one?
I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the one which is...
Oh, the oregano.
Not the oregano one, the one which is like crushed bark and stuff.
Yeah, you used Italian herbs and
other things. That's a different thing for the leaf litter.
Oh, is it? Okay, then I'm not too sure how you make that one. The bark, the one that looks a bit more like bark.
Yeah. Well, the one that's got all of like the sort of standard ground cover. Yeah. Like you put that on this and then it would really pop. So I think take a look at putting some ground cover on this, and that will really help it pop.
Yeah, just in and about, because it does seem like it's meant to be like a very lush and thick forest floor.
But at the moment, like that uniform color doesn't help it. So like when I'm talking about vibrant levels of color, I'm talking about go pull along. What's the complementary analogous one? The one where you'd go from purple to yellow and using all of the shades of green, sort of thing.
Sorry, extended analogous. I
Yeah,
think.
an extended analogous. Like, that's the kind of level I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, moving on.
Moving on, we have another post from James. And what I am starting to paint this week, Scarlet Witch, Miss Marvel, Doctor Strange, Mary Jane Watson. Watson? Is it Watson?
Yeah, Mary Jane Watson.
Oh, okay, because it's an R, so I was like...
It should be a T.
Okay. Zombie Iron Man. Got it.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's good just seeing posts like this because this is part of the process. And James has been absolutely legendary when it comes to just smashing things out because he has put out so much stuff. And the thing is, he's aiming for tabletop level, right?
Yeah.
He's aiming to get these things done. And you should always sort of look at that. But when he asks certain things, like, for example, does the jungle base pop?
Yeah. Not quite as poppin' yet.
Yes.
My dude.
But next up, we have somebody who doesn't love us. They don't love us anymore.
The genuine
vision.
Tusk.
Alright,
so he says, little more progress on the lovely Amanita Shaman from Creepy Tables. For those interested, hair and skin are at that 80% mark now, so on to the next area, which I've started on. The hat. Happy with how he's going and really enjoying. Yeah.
Yeah, and the distressed leather looks very, very nice. It looks just absolutely fantastic, and he really accentuates certain pieces and just goes over and above. Like, for example, like that deep crease. He's not afraid to go super dark with it.
Yeah.
And he's not afraid to, like, add some very vibrant creases with it. But yes, since he doesn't love us and doesn't want to give us his little post, I guess that's all the information. I wouldn't cry!
Wow.
Alright, would you like to read out this? Because this one feels very relevant from our last episode.
Yes, because it is actually directly related to our last episode.
Yep.
Samuel Jensen says, in honor of the Iron Warriors design versus lore, have a picture of my kit-bashed Chaos Lord of the Fourth League.
And we actually really liked this in a couple of ways. So, do you want to say about the scar thing you were talking about?
Maybe this was unintentional, but the way that he's done the hazard stripes actually look like scar marks on his mask.
Yeah.
Which I honestly thought was a feature of this model.
Yeah, I think it looks very cool, but one of the things that a lot of people said is I think that the Iron Warriors shouldn't have any of the chaos markings, but when I took a look at something like this, I just think, like, for them, it's just sort of an aesthetic. Like, they don't care about chaos at all.
They don't really care about its function.
Yeah.
I mean, like, take a look at this particular jetpack, right? Okay, maybe it's I think he mentioned he kit bashed it. Yeah. So maybe this is a kit bashed element, but he's got skulls on for his battery pack ventilators instead of the normal ventilators that the Chaos ones had. I'm just thinking to myself, like, because we did receive a comment and he was trying to explain to us that the reason why those backpacks look so different is to
void combat.
Yeah, it's so that they can travel through the void.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I take a look at things like this and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't look like a purposeful design.
No, it doesn't. And like it looks like it's designed for aesthetics. And I think this is a great look. And this, I think, is the only way you can really include, like, the hatred of an enemy. So he's stolen that from, what's the Be'lakor box?
Oh, they have this from the
Be'lakor? Remember I showed you?
Okay.
So he's stolen that from the Be'lakor box. And, like, I think it looks great. I think he does look very chaosy. He's everything that you want him to be. But there is one thing that you really need to do. You need to go over him with a soft toothbrush because there's a lot of hairs that have attached to him. Yeah, there is. But it's
painting-wise, my only thing that I would ask for improvement would be the plasma glow.
You'd stretch beyond the thing itself. Yeah. No, but I do want to say, just with the soft toothbrush thing, not having to go at that because we have cats and sometimes that happens, but it just seems particularly noticeable with this model because there's quite a few areas where I see it, especially when I'm zoomed in. But yeah, just I think everything hits exactly where it wants to be. But Sunny's right. If you are going to go for some of these more glow effects and you are going for what looks to be character level, try and push yourself and try and add those glow effects.
Yeah.
Just go for it. Don't worry about if it comes up bad or not. Like, there'll be people like us who can tell you how to improve it. Just surround yourself with the right people and push yourself.
Yeah.
All right. I think it is time that we move on.
Ooh, was this...
It is me desperately trying to get a guest on and failing.
Yes.
Yes. You just want to point out my failures?
No. It was colourful.
Alright, you want to read out the next one?
Robert Meyer. Jaws of the Lion finished and ready for the next scenario. Started painting and it's a great game, but the unpainted minis were calling to me. Next, a couple Space Marines. March for McGregor. Sorry.
March for McGregor.
McCraig.
Yeah. There's Rabute Gilliman.
Yeah,
He's like, oh, I'll fight you, lad.
Sorry, I'm just going to read out what Morton's been saying.
Yeah, I already read it out.
Oh, did he say?
Yes, I did.
Think about doing the ASMR. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not my fault you don't pay attention.
I thought it was something new.
Yes. She just wants
Say something new, Morton, so that I may respond to you and not look like an idiot. Yes, we're talking.
Anyway, where was
wrong page.
Wrong number.
Wrong number.
So I think that the whites come up nicely, but I do think it could use a bit of a highlight with the white.
Do you think a wash, like an apothecary white?
No, I think like just a dry brush or something down here. Yeah. I like the yellow guy, the mustard yellow guy, but I think yellow is a cursed color and just abandon all hope.
I can't really see what's happening with the face, but from here it seems like they're all one color.
I think it's a golden mask sort of deal.
It just looks too similar.
Yeah, values are similar.
It just looks like all yellow, but
I think like they look nice. But I think I've encountered these guys before. I think they're soft plastic models.
Oh, soft plastic models are not
the worst.
Best. Yeah.
Yeah, like if I had to choose what to work with, like, I don't know whether I'd choose like metal models as last or soft plastic.
I think you'd definitely put soft plastic last because at least with metal models you can still have like detail.
Oh, you can.
Easier to work
but I mean,
with.
like, the problem with metal models is you almost always have to varnish.
Morton said something.
Oh, I see, Kat.
Now I'm not an idiot. I'll be sure to try and get a lightbox thing going over the weekend and include Celestine there, and also have a work in progress picture of my next model,
Castellan Crow.
Is that a Warhammer model?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. Thank you for saying something.
But yeah, so I think that the mustard yellow came up fine. I think you could highlight it some more, but I just think that yellow is a cursed color and just leave it be. And that's about it. That's about all I've got to say for those. But I do really like the red over here. It's like a slightly desaturated red. He looks
like a little bit like an ant. No, we kind of did go to like the thorax
Yeah,
and the little
I get what
arms.
you're saying, but it's just funny the way that you say it.
Because I saw that and I just thought, ant
Alright,
warrior.
so next up, we've got Calvinoni, who has done up cute demons and terrain, according to him.
Yep.
But one of the things that I just...
Oh my god. Honey, sorry, I just have to point out, he kind of looks like that demon stand from the JoJo Season 3. The submarine one. The tiny one.
Oh, yeah.
Went around with the claws and ripping into everybody.
When I commented on these, see... These are made by a sculptor who does, like, old school sculpts of GW models. So, like, he'll do sculpts of stuff like, so, for example, these are blue or pink horrors.
Oh.
Right? And I said to him, you know, they're not blue or pink. And he's like, yeah, it didn't work out and that sort of stuff. But then I went on and he's like, what did he say? He said something. I said, he's like, you know what? Rather than guessing, I'm just gonna click through and.
Oh, it was in the response.
Yeah, and I don't think he got what I was saying because I'm there like, I was going to add yeah, I just wanted to add some tone to it because I read it and I'm just like, dude, you do not get what I'm saying. He's like, yeah, they're from Seder Studios. And they're from Seder Studios, that's why I talked about it. He's like, ironic, if only he did an STL, he could be hunted down like the rest. Because he's talking about how he pulled them for low sales. Oh. He's like, only does old-fashioned hand sculpts, then casts. And I'm like, yes, I understood the joke. But I definitely think they should be pink or blue, otherwise it's kind of missing the point.
Of the,
yeah. But that's just a taste thing. I think that they look fine, but I do think those eyes really need to be widened because they're definitely so big and chunky. Other than that,
they need some attention to the eye.
Yeah. Other than that, I think they're fine.
Oh, we have Mr. Genuine Vision again.
Yes, and he has not commented. He has not given us any love, so yes. we will
skip him again.
Well, not quite, but I tell you what. The fact that he has painted that monarch butterfly at the end of his little stick there, that is insane. Look at the lines.
Oh, speaking of monarch butterfly.
Okay, why are you looking up monarch butterfly?
Oh, okay.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it can be done. The battle can be won.
I thought...
The war can be fought and you can win. Gentlemen... A woman just admitted that she is wrong.
I thought the blue butterflies are called monarch butterfly. Yeah, this one.
Yes, the monarch butterfly. Alright, but anyway. So,
you told me it wasn't a monarch.
I did tell you it was a monarch butterfly.
No! You told me it was not a monarch.
I did. You're changing your mind now. We were on stream last time.
The blue one I was saying. Anyway, yes, okay. My only commentary was this. Because he normally does very hyper-detailed things. I was wondering why he didn't try for almost translucent effect for... I know they are not transparent, but I don't know. Usually, I guess I'm a bit like that kid from the Incredibles movie. I don't know. I'm just waiting for something amazing to happen. Like,
look, I think with that you're asking too much. I know that he does absolutely incredible models, but I don't know how you can get a transparent look with a non-transparent material.
I don't know. He's the master. Maybe he has some secret knowledge that I don't.
Yes. All right. So, moving on. Next, we have some more Joar Sutton adventures.
Look at this.
And he's just getting it done. He's just base coating up all of his Talon Desert Raiders.
Talon Desert Raiders.
Yes.
Going to shoot some sandworms.
I'm very glad that's how you finished it. I thought you were going to say something else, and I'm like, don't.
I can be careful with my words.
Don't. I I don't know what she was going to say after sand, and I just got very, very worried.
Shoot at sand.
Yes. Okay. So
I was gonna to the next post.
So next up, it's me.
It's you.
Yeah, that's why I want to have it there so I can read it out. It's Whip Wednesday. Hashtag Whip Wednesday. Let's see your latest. This project is shuffling towards the finish line with the discovery of every new piece that I thought was already finished. Oh my god, there's so much. Yeah. Still need work, but they're getting there. So, what are you painting now? Make a post about it. And I don't know. I'm actually pretty happy with how the No, there's some bits which need a little touching up.
Oh,
but,
okay.
I'm pretty happy with how the colors came out on this.
Yeah, and I'm like, again, I know that my computer has a higher vibrancy level, let's call it, on the monitor as compared to yours. It really looks really quite nice. I especially this photo with the front facing angle, you can see that fade of the brighter part going down to a darker green, but it's still all saturated green.
Yeah.
And it just gives it that little bit of that floating light, a projection type of effect. Yeah. Which is what I think the sculpt is asking for. Yeah. So I think you're really head on.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty happy with it. And I tell you what, there is one thing that I do not, I'm never unhappy with.
Yep.
Which is the way that this stuff has come up. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick copy.
Your beige dystopia.
Yes, my beige dystopia. Yep. So, I want to show you guys why it's so different compared to the ones before. So, I'm just gonna
Is it adjustment layer? Yep. Yeah, there you go.
And then we go
black and white.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, you got yeah.
And we go file, quick export. And so you want to talk while I'm doing this?
Yeah, and I also so I really also liked the it looks a bit more on the bronzy side, but there are a bit of a dark gold elements on the side there because it reminded me a lot of the map that you find in the Rogue Trader game, and it had a similar style table or console like this, and it had that bronzy gold look on the actual console part that's not the map projection itself. And when I saw that, I just thought, oh yeah, it actually looks so good for this.
So when we take a look at it in color here, right, then we take a look at it over here, we actually see like that level of damage and scratch through and everything, right?
You can see a clear contrast.
Yeah, and that's what you really want when you're going to be doing chipping. So like I wanted the life pods to be colored something different than the cream.
Beige, yeah.
You know?
You could have maybe done a white.
So the reason I was either going to go green, but green was out because that was going to be the default army color.
Oh.
And so I thought blue is the closest to a life sort of color. So that's why I went with the cream. And
the turquoise, you mean?
Oh yeah, sorry, the turquoise. Yeah.
Okay. I think it's a good reasoning there.
But we will move on, and
it's Mr. Justin.
Yes, it's Mr.
Justin, and what has he done? So I felt this color scheme worked better on the Terminator Captain, and I didn't have a cape for the other Space Marine. No. SIM card.
No, it's not SIM card. It's sandwich meat.
Sandwich meat. I started moved across.
Also, we should let our new viewers, because we've got people such as Morton Christensen here, we should let you know that there is a tradition we have here. If somebody uses essentially any acronym other than ones that are really well known, like 40K or WHIP. Yeah, we always make fun of whatever the thing is, so that people know to put the full stuff up there, because a lot of people will see certain things and they'll just go, what mean?
What that?
Yeah, what that?
We're all
what the dog
old
do?
People around here.
Yes.
Credit goes to, how do I say this, honey? Graham?
Graham.
Graham?
Yeah, I do believe it's Graham.
Graham Testa?
Yeah.
For the chapter scheme. The Souls of Brathnon. Early days, just a tester model, really, but will do my best.
Well, I think the color scheme, if he's got that red and a stripe, and that goes on other things, I think that'll be interesting. But if it's all black for the rest of it, except that, it's going to bring a lot of focus to the center of the character.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the rest of the detail will sort of fade into the background. So we'll see how it goes.
I want to ask.
Yes.
What's the reasoning for the choice of red and blue?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought it's like some special.
No, I think his mate made this chapter, so maybe he'll go into some detail.
Well, Justin, you must tell us.
Yes,
I
he
want
must.
to know.
Must.
Okay,
we're getting towards the end here.
Oh my.
Yep. All right.
We're zooming past you guys.
All right, you ready
it's
to read
all
it?
your fault. You could have come on the show and dragged things out, but no. You had to stay at home or go to work or something. Anyway.
You are the worst.
Whip March for McCraig. I said that right?
Whip March for McCraig?
March for McCraig.
Yes.
Not McGregor.
Yes. This is what I have to deal with on the regular.
I'm trying. English is not my first language.
Chris says, sorry.
I laugh at you, Christensen. Okay.
No, it's not Christensen. It's Chris.
No,
Chris
it's
Lee.
Martin. Oh, I'm sorry. Also. Ta-da. Sorry, Chris. I'm sorry.
This is what I have to work with on the regular.
Okay, I read. March from McCraig. I've been taking a break from all the blue lately. Going to finally paint Piggy. Okay. And a set of Victrix God to match my new Marnius Algar. This is first banner tool. There are too many words.
There is like 2 sentences. Like,
Honey, Tiggy, Victrix, Manius Calgar. How is someone meant to read any of this? What does Tiggy mean? What's a Tiggy? What is it?
Okay, so let's talk about the paint jobs like we promised that we're going to do. So we got a bit of bleed in the yellow here on his other trim over there. But I think a lot of this is not yet done because we see this a lot with how he paints. So he'll leave stuff completely unpainted until the very end. Like, for example, remember how his book until recently was that stone color and then he painted it blue?
I think you're mixing that up with Carlos. Cause
no, it wasn't Carlos. No, it was...
You're talking about the blue wizard with the blue book, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Carlos.
I'm going down here. What? But
I told you. I think he did do the same model. That one.
Did he?
I think he has. I think he did do the same model. I know. Yeah. I remember seeing someone doing the exact same model. But I
thought Robert Mayer was doing those ones.
No. That he might have. I think he did one.
I feel tempted on going back.
I can actually check it.
Yes, you can check. I cannot.
I cannot. But you cannot.
Yes. So anyway, there's a bit of a bleed down there, and other than that, I think you were not checking.
I'm trying to check. Okay, it doesn't open the thing.
You just scroll down. Use the scroll button.
I want to have all the pictures.
Yes, see, he does do the things, except he was doing the slapshot one. See?
Yeah, but that's not the same wizard.
Yes, it is. It is the same wizard. He did do the same wizard. Anyway.
Yeah, but Carlos did the other one.
Yes, Carlos obviously did do the other one. So I'm mixing people up.
There you go.
I don't have dementia.
Henry remembers things.
Do I? Oh, we didn't even mention that I'm Cal and I'm Sunny, did we?
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah, but I don't think... Did we? I think we said our name, didn't we?
Yes. All right. Welcome to Dementia Cast.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I should put that hashtag. Dementia Cast.
Anyway,
big trouble.
So I noticed that here he's got the cream on there, and like I don't understand how some people go through their process, because he's got the cream on the top of the scrolls.
But he didn't continue down
yeah,
to the
and
bottom.
I'm like, what is Chris Lee says we're old geezers.
Yes, this is true.
Yes.
But is it really part of the scroll, or is it just like a canister? And then
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. There's too much detail in Warhammer models too often. Look, it's true.
True.
If that's a canister and those aren't white things, right? So it's a canister with things on that canister, and then a seal on that canister, and on the seal there's parchment. Come on, you got to be kidding me.
Yep.
But it's still better than what I've been working on with the
definitely.
skulls within the skulls.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a very good work in progress. There's a lot that's been done, but I think we're going to have to wait to see where things go.
This is Liberius.
Liberius is the Liberium.
Is that what I don't know.
Okay. We will move on now, because we have been being dementiaed for some time.
Okay.
All right.
It's Joe Sutton with another update.
He has gotten a lot done.
So it says here, boots, trousers, and bandages done. Only the rest to do. I sometime paint.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
But yeah, I tell you what.
Between telling extravagant stories.
Yes, he's gotten a lot done this week. You got to give him credit. I mean, take a look at how much was done, considering like the difference between the two pictures we saw.
Yeah.
So I am looking forward to seeing the end of the Joe R. Sutton adventure. But next up is my one, and I will read out while Sunny will click through the pictures.
Okay, I will click through pictures.
Okay. It's Throwback Thursday. Hashtag Throwback Thursday. Just a quick reminder, guys. This is a new thing that we're doing. So on Thursdays, show us some of your older models that you're proud of, and tell us a bit of a story behind them, and why you wanted to show them off, if you want to improve them, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I love this guy. Why? Well, I won a local Armies on Parade, and I put a lot of effort into this guy, as you can see, with the pictures and some experiments I did earlier. But someone spoke poorly of me at the store where I won. But someone came to my defense. This person isn't a good friend. We don't speak anymore. They said that too, I could do better. And that was... Oh, I think I've really stuffed up here. Anyway.
Ouch.
Anyway, I meant to say that was this, that, and the other. Yeah. But you didn't, and he did. And that's why he won and you didn't. And the truth is that they did whatever it is they did. Painting is like anything else. You have to put in the effort. And there's a lot of competitions which I've lost. I'm sort of going to go off the script a bit. There's a lot of competitions that I've lost, guys. Ones where I put in a lot more effort. But the thing is, when it comes down to it, it's about how much effort you put into painting. That's how you become a better painter. That's how you become a better sculptor. That's how you become a better anything, right? Like, take a look at these photos. These are not great photos, right? And like I've sort of just thrown that photo aspect off to Sunny because she can take great photos. But just every aspect you do when it comes to painting, you will get better and better if you just put in the effort.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you have to do. Put in the effort, right? There's no such thing as natural born talent. Some people will be better at things at the start, but that doesn't mean that they have magical abilities. The difference between, the master and the student is the master has failed more times than the student has ever tried.
This is true.
So, guys, don't ever be down on yourself for your painting abilities. Just realize that you've got to put in the effort. And Chris Lee said, this tree man is so cool. Thank you very much. He keeps breaking. He frustrates the words that I don't say. The words that I won't say. Anyway, you need to read this out and have the surprise level that I had.
Okay, I will read it out. I was about to answer quick. Thean says, the rumors of my assimilation are greatly exaggerated. I'm back. Been a while, but real life took over a lot of my free time. Just waiting for the base to dry, grey rubble, so I can dash it with Nullen oil. Not bad for 2 months' work.
I think that it's come up quite nicely. So let's take a look at it. So I do think that in here, right, he's very, very clean with a lot of this. I do think that, this would be perfect for pin washing.
Yes.
Like, pin washing was one of the things we talked about recently on one of the shorts. And basically, it's oil washes, but you just sort of touch the recesses, essentially.
Yeah, so you're not putting a whole wash over the whole thing and letting it seep into the recesses. You're focusing your brush on the recesses itself and letting the liquid flow through all the panels automatically.
And then you just use a Q-tip or whatever to remove
clean whatever's overspilled.
Yeah. I think it's looking fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Like, when we take a look at this and compare to some of his older stuff, so, Cian has been a long-time WAYPNer, but we haven't seen him in a while. And I just have to say, with all of this, it is just so clean. It is absolutely beautifully clean. And those are some very nice highlights that he's done with the green along here. Very clean.
And it's got a good level of contrast and very cohesive color palette as well.
Yeah, very cohesive color palette. I'll go back to this one for taking a look at the cohesiveness. But see, this is one of the things that I want to come back to, right? So, Cian has grown a lot. Like, when he started out, like, you gotta commend the man. He just said, stuff it. I'm gonna put my stuff out there. Doesn't matter if I'm the best painter or not. And we love that. We absolutely love people who put themselves out there, because this is a very lovely paint job. A lot of nice highlights, and he really went to push it. Like, you can see in here the yellow.
And that was something that we talked about previously with some of his work. We did keep going on about the edge highlighting could be improved, and we said that on multiple occasions, and he is really pushed himself to improve that on this piece.
Yeah.
Extremely thin and crisp.
Yeah.
Edge highlight.
And see, like, when I take a look on your screen, so we're up very close on this screen, but when we take a look over here, right, we don't see it as yellow, we see it as a highlight of the green.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, like, it's stuff like that. But it looks like we are coming to a close, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh. I have one more post.
Oh, we've got one more post?
Yes.
Oh, we got...
2. Hold on.
What? There's like 4. 4 more posts.
What the heck is going on?
Apparently, I am not...
Did you miss out, honey?
I think I missed out. I was sad.
FOMO.
I got the sad.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
Jason is here, and he says, Throwback Thursday. This guy was a sculpt that I saw on Kickstarter that made me want to start mini painting. I painted him 2.5 years ago after waiting 4 months to be good enough. Or rather, after 4 months, I decided I should stop worrying and just paint him. Yep.
Yeah, and I think he looks great. I think Jason has grown since then. If this is the first model that he painted,
I'll just finish the rest of the thing.
Oh, yep, sorry.
There were a number of failed aspects on him, but I love him because he still shows me all the parts that I took a chance on and successfully completed. He's a reminder to me to take chances and try to tell story every chance I get.
Yeah, and I do think as far as the storytelling goes, you did tell a great story on him. Like, I love this subtle rust, and like
absolutely love the way you've done that.
The glow
on
well, see, like I think the glow is the one area where he's really improved. So, like with the glow right here, you could see that he'd do something like this now, right? There's nothing wrong with the dry brushing to accentuate the glow, but he'd probably have done, maybe a glaze or a wash to sort of accentuate that in other areas and to sort of blend it out a bit. But I think that looks great. And, isn't it funny seeing how people go about things, seeing how people push themselves or even start the hobby? And I think this is a great, interesting story, seeing that it was a Kickstarter that got him into painting, because I've never seen that before. I've never seen anybody get into painting off a Kickstarter. It's almost always off either Warhammer or D&D.
I'm not sure if this is him putting his own spin on things or if it's meant to be like that with the Kickstarter. But I love that he's actually painted him as like a Sith Lord.
Yeah, no, he's definitely Darth Vader. Look at the troops. The troops are obviously stormtroopers.
Like, look at the shape of the helmet.
Yeah, obviously.
Because at first I thought it was a Star Wars mini. And then I was like, but
there's
Star Wars, you don't have the hand powers, right? And then after that I started to take a closer look and it's like, this is just a medieval character. Okay, I think I'm overthinking things. I look at the next one and I'm like, no, those are stormtroopers right there. And I'm like, oh.
Speaking of, tell us, guys, how did you guys start out with your painting? All right, he's gotten a lot more done on this, guys, since parchment is finished. Finished from yesterday. All right, let's take a look. Let us take a look. And look, there's no big words like Victrix now.
Yep.
So he cleaned up that yellow quite nicely. Yellow is a pain to clean. But I think this could have gone into a cream, like a lovely, nice cream color. And the reason that I say that, right, is take a look at all of this blue, and it's a neutral white. So there's very little warmth in this. So you're drawn to the yellow cabling right here. You're drawn to the Aquila right here, to the bone, and of course to the cables that are popping out of him. So I think this was a chance to add some additional warmth to the model.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. And it's also, if he does bring the warmth down here to the parchment.
Joseph is actually here live for once.
Oh my god.
Yes.
It's not too early for you, Joe?
I think he might be at work.
Oh.
He might be sneaking this in at work
dear.
Like some other people may or may not be. We will also not read out your address live on it.
Yes. But I want to finish the
thing.
Yes,
you want to finish your sentence?
Okay, so
now you know what it's like to be me.
I don't say anymore.
Say it for Robert. Say it for Robert.
So if you do go with that cream, like bring that cream in, like Cal said, you would be completing the visual hierarchy with a triangle, because the vest, the way that it has that V, it's already doing it to lead the eye down to the parchment. So you need that anchor point there. Also the
shoulders with the gold trim.
With the gold trim. It's just like a whole V that's happening to your eyes. Yeah. So you can help it along and guide the eye and anchor it down at the parchment. I think That's just the way this model is designed. You have to be take note of that some of the times. It's not very obvious. It's something you have to actively observe, but it just makes it so that your eyes just go onto the parchment seals, right? So I think Henry has a good point there. And we shall move on.
Yeah, that's exactly what Joseph says as well. Joseph says too much blue in that grey. And see, I don't mind the blue in the grey, but like we said, if the parchment was that warm, creamy yellow, then it would be okay. And Joseph said, me at work, no. No. Okay. Speaking of, we've got one of Joseph's stuff.
Oh, now I know why he showed up.
Yes.
It's because he's like, okay, it's about time they would have reached my post. So I'm coming now. Yeah.
He actually managed some decent directionality with some of the eyes on this one.
I'm just going to read what he said. Slow progress as most of my free time is spent playing Aeon Trespass, but they're getting there. Okay.
I love the cat.
Yeah, I saw the cat and I was like, oh, you cute
but
cat.
Like, look at this guy's eyes here.
He looks so done with life.
He does, but look, if you were in the Kingdom Death world, you'd be done with life too.
He looks like he hated torturing the C word out of this guy on the floor. He was like, okay, bonk bonk. Okay, you finished? You done? You dead yet? No, bonk bonk. Some more. That's what it looks like, doesn't it? Like,
but it looks like there's some great directionality with that there.
Yes.
I also love what's the Jumanji guy here?
Oh, the Jumanji guy.
What's that pith helmet thing called?
Oh, I don't know.
He's just called the Hunter in Jumanji.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the Colonial Hunter. So like, I think that's come up very nicely now that all of the beige are sort of put together. But like we said, I really do think that this light's going to have to do a lot of work to bring some color to this model.
I think normally it does. He's got the formula down pat. And
Joseph does have the formula down pat. He's the murderer. I think he's a little tortured. Jumanji is the romantic adventurer. I'm going for a little Crocodile Dundee. His sash will be white. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. But I think maybe it could be a... Well, it all depends on how he's going to do the white. If it's a white with blues like we saw before, I think that will be good.
Very nice,
because it'll give some contrast. But I think, once again, the light is going to have to do a lot of work here. But I like how the yellows come up. I'm not as certain with how the how it's gone for the more pale highlights. You know what I'm saying here? What do you think?
For the Jumanji lady or guy?
No, the yellow here on the little.
Yes, I see it.
Yes.
I don't know. I like it. Good to me.
But the eyes on this one are a bit out.
Yeah.
Are a bit out. But he said that he was thinking more beige white. I don't think a beige white would be your friend on that, because
I can see why he wanted a beige white, just because it
like matches the tone of everything else. But see, that's why I'm saying it should be more that clean white.
I can imagine it, and I feel, unfortunately, it will draw too much attention. That even if he really gets it right and he makes it as pale a blue white as possible, it will take a lot of attention. And I think he might be right to go with a beige white.
Well, we're going to agree to disagree here and move on to the cat, which is perfect.
The cat is the star of the show.
I don't know what's going on with the collar here, but
maybe a bandana.
Maybe, but with the rest of it, it's absolutely perfect. I don't know why there's a cat in Kingdom Death.
Yeah. So weird.
But the skins come up really nice on the girl. I think that's come up quite nicely.
I really love her pants.
Really love her pants.
Yeah, like the material is quite realistic. That sort of
khaki.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's come up well. I think the bandages have come up well, but I feel like they want just one extra highlight.
Yeah, I would agree that it is a bit similar to her. So I
mm.
think you're right on that.
Yeah, we will see. That's Mrs. Adam Poots and her pet cat. So that's his Mrs. done in miniature form. All right. Well, I think we're on our last post. I'm gonna do a refresh as I load this one. All right. So we've got some more work by Joe. He has really been going all out this week.
Yeah.
No, look, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Go to this picture and look at that blue-white and how well it contrasts with the khaki. Go ahead.
I'm opening it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. It is also very striking, like that. My eye only goes there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so Chris Lee was saying, why not Chris White? Because it's only one piece of material. That's why it's one or the other on that one.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think it will take that much away from it. I think it will help focus the model. I think these guys look absolutely fantastic. I love the old Desert Raiders.
The reason why I disagree is because normally the lantern is the one that takes the attention, and that would fight the lantern. That's why I'm saying.
All right. Well, it looks like this is the last one, and it is just yet another update from Joe R. Sutton. But what a perfect finish to WAYPN for us to finish on a work in progress.
Yay!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. And as usual, we'll have a bit of a rant, and I'll have that rant that I was having before when I was talking about the Tree Man. In fact, I'll bring up Tree Man for this particular rant.
Tree Man.
And I'll say, here's the thing. Like that guy said, oh my god, I wrote that so badly before.
It's okay, just...
But anyway, so it's about putting the work in. It doesn't matter whether you are the best painter or the worst painter. It's about putting the work in. It's about putting that effort in, right? You can't improve if you don't keep trying, right? And like, this is not my best work ever, right? Despite the fact that this one got a result, it doesn't mean that your next ones, if they don't get the result at the competition, that you haven't improved. I know that I've improved, but maybe your competition's improved. Maybe there was another factor. Just think about how you can keep going, because that's the big thing. Is there anything that you want to add to that one?
Oh, I think you've pretty... What needs to be said with that one, we often say to compare yourself to how you were previously to how you are now. And that's the most important thing.
Alright. Well, Chris said, I read that and thought you must have been half asleep or in a rush.
You were rushing actually.
Yeah, I can't remember.
We were going out. You were about to go out, and then you had a really well-written one at first, and then the Facebook decided
it ate my words.
Delete it.
Yeah, I was writing it at the time.
And then you rewrote it again.
Yeah, so I had one written up. Yes, we should end this on cursing at Facebook because, yeah, I do remember that now. I had it all written up, and I had you check it, and then I said, all right, I just want to add one bit. And then I'm like, what's happening? And then it brought up that thing that Facebook does, and it goes, something went wrong. And I'm like, what? Then it just disappeared. And I'm like, fuck! And that's where I think we will end it. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye.
See, if you were on the show, you could have chatted with us afterwards, but no, you had to work.
Woman, stop.
Bye-bye.
They're on the stream.
Yes, I know.
They're being good.
Goodbye.
Bye.